What the hell's going on over there?
Wow.
That wasn't me.
It came at me from the wrong angle. I wasn't ready for that.
Well, that's how this whole show's going to go today.
Andy said it's going to be chaos this week.
So we might as well start with chaos. Guess who? You know this voice.
It's my buddy Andy.
That's right. It's your buddy Andy, America's little brother. And as always, there he is over there. The one, the only.
Bam! Bam!
Ooh, the garlic dragon. Gnarly Nick.
Wafting.
Is it wafting or wafting?
I think it depends where you're from.
I'm a wafting guy.
I'm from Canada, wafting.
Now give since Jericho's back. Give
me something.
Give me the
I had
regular.
something picked for him.
Give my regular intro, not the jerk one. The casino.
Yeah. You get what you want. Here you go. There he is, the breakout star of the podcast medium, Chris L.
He was a moocher, a card cheat, a country club golf hustler, a scumbag.
There you go.
Is that De Niro?
Yeah, it's describing Lester Diamond,
Yeah. Hey,
played by James Woods.
Who's my buddy Andy? Who's that guy?
Rip Torn.
Oh, love it.
Yep. And there he is. You guys know that voice. Guess who?
Are you sexy, baby girl? Hell yes.
Hell yes.
Shit.
There he is. Chris Jericho, welcome back.
2 weeks in a row. It's a great day.
Week 2 of December.
December.
Yeah.
And last week was the 53rd birthday of Chris L.
Yes, it was.
And this week is the 75th birthday of last week's special guest who tore the house down, Mr. Teddy Irvin.
He did tear the house.
He
That was good,
he was
man.
a natural.
It was an honor to
Yeah. That was fun.
And his birthday, the release of this episode, his birthday was yesterday. So happy birthday to Ted I.
Ted
I hope.
AKA your father.
Yeah, right. I am your father.
It was great to have him.
Quite a revelation.
Here's what I liked about that was, and listen, like I said, this is my 8th or 9th episode, 10th episode?
9th.
So I can say I have a little bit of a say in this. I think it was great to have somebody from a different generation that had a different take, not knowing who Billy Squier was, and judging him solely on a one-time appearance for a song and a video. So I thought he was very irrational in his interpretations.
Yeah, and he gave Billy the benefit of the doubt at the outset, but there was just the relentlessness of the stuff to find fault with in that video just finally broke him down.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
enough.
Though. It was cool that we know these songs, but actually from a younger generation, some of the ones you guys don't know, Jones Brothers, but the rumors have been there. You know who Billy Squier is. You know Everybody Wants You. You know The Stroke. He knew none of that, and it was cool to kind of get his take on it from a layman's standpoint.
Well, just to have him here. I mean, you know, I hope to be as sharp as him when I'm 55, much less 75. So
you're almost there, brother.
Well, who knows if I'll make it there?
It's just the fucking way it is.
Yeah, right. That he came in with a Paul Anka story. How fucking great!
That's
is
the
that?
best thing. That's what I love about the old school brothers. Like, he has a George Carlin story. He's got a Freddie Prinze story. He's got a Paul Anka story.
Freddie
He's got
Prinze.
Oh yeah. He's got a Joe. What's the guy that Ali was in the Joe Fraser story?
Oh man, we gotta just do a podcast with him and get his story.
When you play for the Rangers in the 70s,
yeah.
Everybody, Peggy Fleming, all the hot chicks, they're all hanging out.
Now, when did he retire, or when did
he played? This is a pretty cool thing. A legit 10 years, 67 to 77.
77, did he retire with the Rangers?
With the Blues.
Okay.
He started with the Kings. He was drafted by the Bruins and was on the expansion Kings in 67, to where he could have told you the story, but he's told me a million times, but it's a great one. They were an expansion team of a bunch of young punks. They had one-star goaltender, Terry Sawchuk.
Oh, wow.
Nobody was getting paid. They put him in a cheap flea motel where he wouldn't even let my mom, future mom, drive there because they weren't getting paid. And they ate crackers, saltine crackers, and lemonade they made from lemons and water, playing for the LA Kings because nobody would pay them. They had no money for food. Finally, Terry Sawchuk went to the Kings owner, Jack King Cook, and said, "These guys got no money. If you don't pay them, I'm leaving. I'm walking out. And he said, what do you mean they have no money? He came down. They gave them all $500 cash, which in 1967 was like $10,000. So that was kind of how it was back then. Even in the NHL, no one was getting paid. We don't care.
Crazy.
Well, you don't mean just not getting paid enough. They just weren't even getting paid.
Zero.
Wow.
They were eating saltines and drinking lemonade they made by themselves.
That's insane.
And not saying
no
a
catering.
word. Nothing. No, nothing. You just did what you were told.
And then he went from that to playing for the Rangers and hobnobbing with all these guys. Was he ever a teammate of Ron Duguay during that period?
Duguay's a little bit younger than him, so I think Duguay came in about 78. You're talking about Ron Greshner, yes.
Right.
Roger
and
Bear.
all the guys who were in the Sasson designer jeans era, ads of the era. I remember that. Those guys were rock stars. The Rangers were rock stars.
Well, once again, that's New York. You play for the
yeah.
Rangers. Now, New York is the media market. That's why, not to be a dick, but my biggest market always is New York City. I could walk. I did this before a few times. I've driven the wrong way down a one-way street to get somewhere, knowing that if I get pulled over by the cops, there's a 50% chance they're going to know me. And I've never been busted yet. I've been pulled over 10 times. Jericho, what are you doing? Hey, just don't drive the wrong way. Let me escort you. New York is a sports entertainment market, and they care and they appreciate their athletes from the 70s up until now. So, anyways, it's great to have him. Thank you guys for inviting him.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
it's
that's
great.
fantastic.
We've got some serious business to get to right off the top today. It's called Belvedere Gate, and it starts now.
Red Bear, they're chewing pot of thunder. They're in the side of my balls. No one cares.
I love how you didn't dare bring that up to Teddy Irvin.
Yeah,
you couldn't wait for him to leave to put that up.
I have to be a respectful person.
Yeah.
And this stems from the urban/possible real legend.
Yes, this is something we've discussed through our group text, but never in person. And I felt like once we finally sat down, we needed to get all of our opinions out.
I said about balls.
All right, let's explain the story.
So here's the story.
Oh, you're reading it. Is
Oh.
this on Wikipedia?
There's a
Urban
website
Dictionary,
dedicated
right?
to it.
Oh, a whole website.
Well, like an article from a website.
All right.
So it's about the time Mr. Belvedere sat on his own balls, right? So the story that was put out there was that Adam Sandler had a small part on Mr. Belvedere early in his career. And on his first day, everyone was sitting at a huge table waiting to start the read-through of that week's show. The guy who played Mr. Belvedere hadn't shown up yet, so everyone was drinking coffee, talking until he arrived. Finally, Mr. Belvedere walked in a sweatsuit and a matching monogrammed attaché case.
A satin monogrammed attaché case.
When he took his seat and sang out, "Good morning, everybody," like a British Ted Baxter. As he took a load off, apparently, he sat on one of his testicles. With his nut scrunched under his leg, he screamed, "Oh!" and had to be carried out on a stretcher.
I believe it. That's just thinking about that makes me crazy.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me Adam Sandler's behind this?
That was the...
That's hee-hoo, and then hee-hoo, he said it'll be all, be back.
So are you saying that takes away the credibility of the story?
Zero credibility. Although I will say this. The other day I was watching The Price is Right. Why? I don't know. I text my publicist, who's also Adam Sandler's publicist. Do you know Adam Sandler directs Price is Right?
What?
No.
But it's a different Adam Sandler. I'm like, you can't fucking work in Hollywood in any capacity. Give us a Michael James Jackson.
Yep, exactly.
Adam James Sandler. There you go. So maybe Adam James Sandler's behind the Belvedere story.
And you know what? What you just brought up is a perfect segue into the song we're going to do today. I've discussed this before. It's the same principle. Let's just jump right into it. How did we arrive at today's song selection. Everybody knows who it is.
Yeah,
They've
everybody knows who it
seen
is.
the title of it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I get the segue now.
Yeah. So how did we arrive at today's song choice? Just something you wanted to do.
So we
on the
can't
show.
say it, even though everyone knows what it is.
No,
We can say it.
Okay.
We can. If you want to get it out of the way right now, let's do it. I think I could do it. I think I know all the pertinent information. If you want me to do it, I have both of Ted I's sons going back and forth in this lead.
Real sibling rivalry here.
My new half brother,
I
Chris
actually
J.
appreciate that. Yeah, which
You
explains our hatred for each other.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
All right, here we go.
All right, Hamel. This one's called
Crazy Nights,
Off of
Thunder in the East,
by the band.
Loudness.
Ow! Oh!
Now, I guess I should have asked this before I did that. That's the Crazy Nights is
Yes.
the title.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is just one you suggested you wanted to do.
Well, it all stems from the vitriol, shall we say, that you had from Kiss daring having the balls not sitting on one like Mr. Belvedere, which I believe his name is Andrew Everett. Everett was his name. What's Mr. Belvedere's name?
I got a mouthful of yams.
Jeez Louise.
It was Christian.
Who is it, Rich?
Christopher
Okay.
Hewitt.
Well, wow.
Rich
Thanks.
knows all that shit.
Rich is good for that. He's
Yeah.
like the Adam Carolla guy that really finds stuff out. Our guy that's supposed to find stuff out is eating yams and sitting there fucking looking at his own fucking.
Not just
you know what I'm doing?
yams, though.
You know what I'm doing over here, guys?
All right, we're yamming. I wanna yam it with you. We're yamming.
Did you record that? Here's
Nick
what
did.
I love about the Jones Brothers bullshit. They're actually really good musicians, and they pull out all this stupid bullshit like when podcasts rule the game, and this one, and look it up. Very, very good stuff.
Well, Nick is the one who
Well,
does
if
most
anybody
of these.
if anybody wants more yams, we might. Who knows? There might be something else
Yeah.
coming your way.
Wow.
Yeah, but
does
you know-
anybody want to volunteer for more yams
Well, you know,
later?
let's let it happen organically. Let's get
So-
back to Christopher
okay.
Hewitt's ball. Oh no,
Okay,
wait, sorry.
so
Loudness.
Chris L was not Christopher Hewitt. Chris L was furious that Kiss would have the fucking audacity to release a song / album. Well, the album's Crazy Nights. The song Crazy Nights.
right.
He was
right.
furious that they would be so low as to rip off a song title from Loudness.
That's 100% accurate.
Now,
That is my main
okay,
problem with the Kiss song
let me say this.
and the
Let me
album.
say this to you. If I'm Paul Stanley and this is not a Desmond Child joint, Ron Nevison, maybe Adam Mitchell, whatever. Do you think Paul Stanley in 1987, as huge as Kiss is, and we talked about this on Talk is Jericho this week. There's a great book by Greg Prado called "Take It Off: Kiss Unmasked in the '80s."
I have heard of it.
And they're talking about, listen, people talk about the 80s being kind of the lean years. The 80s were huge for Kiss. They were
Sure.
still a legit headlining arena band, and
Yeah.
they never weren't.
Right.
So-
and the videos were all over MTV.
And
They were
ev-
relevant throughout
Yeah.
the decade.
Every album was gold or platinum. Do you really think Paul Stanley, Adam Mitchell, Ron Nevison, Desmond Child knew anything more than just a marginal amount of information about some Japanese heavy metal band called Loudness? And do you think they had ever heard the fact they had a song called Crazy Nights? And if they did, that they gave two shits about it?
If they did, and they probably didn't give two shits about it, but it's still it just didn't. It never sat well with me because I was aware of the Loudness song, and then they came out with it, and I'm just like, it just kills it. For
Okay,
me.
so other side of the coin is one of my favorite bands, top 20 or 30, is Loudness from Japan. Love Loudness.
Top 20 band for
Like,
you?
top 20 or 30, yeah. Seriously. Love,
All right.
love Loudness. So we can go to a deep dive about Loudness, but point being, I have that band for the first 4 records, to me, never had a bad song. So I love Loudness. So when you went off on Kiss, ripping off Loudness, you got problems with me because I love 80s Kiss, and then you're ripping on Loudness, you got problems because I love Loudness. So there you go. So I thought this might be a good one for us to do.
I'm not sure I ripped on Loudness as much as I ripped on
On Kiss, but you insinuated that Kiss was out of line for ripping off a band such as Loudness.
and I stand by that.
Okay,
statement.
and listen, that's great, but Loudness is not Black and Blue, Icon, Faster Pussycat, Love Hate. They're not a low-level rock band. They're a great band from that era.
And that's what I'm saying. Kiss, you tell me Kiss wasn't aware of them and still called their song and album Crazy Nights.
There's a million bands that have songs that are the same names as other songs.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just didn't. It killed it for me. It just seemed like they were.
Okay. But listen, we're not here to be. Listen, we're half brothers, brother. So let's not.
This is what brothers do.
This is what
They
brothers do.
fight.
Listen,
I mean,
my point
we have
is-
two sets of brothers on the show tonight.
The Jones brothers and the L.I. brothers.
Andy and I have gotten along just fine the whole evening.
We
I
always
don't know.
do.
You guys have
I'm
been
not sure.
sitting out, letting me and Chris talk about this whole thing. What's your guys' opinion on Loudness
you know,
and Crazy Nights?
I don't know much Loudness. I know
Same.
of this controversy via Chris here.
Right.
I don't know that they were ever on my radar in the 80s. I don't remember. Like, my point of reference would have been like, were they on Headbangers Ball?
Right.
They
were.
They
right?
probably were, but I just maybe never caught them on it.
Well, as you
back
see,
then.
this video looks like produced in your basement. It's terrible quality. So you might have watched it and went, this ain't, we're not going to take it, or I want to rock. Like, this sucks. You know?
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it because I know, and hearing Mr. Jericho here say that this is one of his favorite bands, and I know of a few people who have said that in social media posts whenever this has come up, which it has a few times. People will say love them, great band, and I've never been inspired to actually go digging into the catalog, but I'm excited to check this.
Well, there's a
one
couple
out.
things when you talk about Loudness. Like, the musicianship is top notch. They're kind of one of the first, like if you're talking about the David Lee Roth, Eat 'Em and Smile band being like the first party rock prog band, which they were. Loudness was before that. The difference is that you have to understand the singing of Minoru Nihara, and I do know all the names. Akira Takasaki, Masayoshi Yamashita on bass, and Murutaka Higuchi on drums, and that's real. His singing is very Japanese. Start the car, light a cigarette on the radio. He's singing phonetically.
Sure.
So he has been given, like if we were supposed to sing in Japanese, we don't understand the words, but we say sing this like okti dong bing dong sing dong.
Yeah.
That's what he's singing, and he pulls it off like a Japanese karaoke singer. It's not great, but if you go to Japan, there's a charm to it. So you can laugh. It's like rock and roll crazy. He doesn't sing it that way. It's not Crazy Night Loudness. That's American fucking, jerk offs.
Yes, right.
It's not how he sings it. He just sings it with a Japanese style, which is very operatic and very karaoke, but the musicianship is amazing.
Right. Akira Takasaki is held in very high regard in the guitar community.
Yes.
If I was to compare him to an American guitarist from that era, I would compare him to George Lynch.
Great call.
So
They said he was Japan's Eddie Van Halen.
Which-
Eddie Van Halen is Japan's Eddie Van Halen. There's no Eddie Van Halen, but George Lynch, yes. I think that's a great comparison.
especially in terms of the tone. I mean, it's
Yep.
just got that. We'll get into it as we get into it more.
And-
but
And
I don't know.
When Loudness plays America right now, they say he's America's Marty Friedman.
Really?
No,
There
just
you go. One of my favorite shows we ever played, and actually, I don't have a lot of Fozzy memorabilia around my house because, as Paul said, I know what I've done. But I have one poster on my wall, Loudness at the Crazy Donkey in Farmington, New York, Long Island, with special guest Fozzy. Somehow we had one random show where we opened for Loudness, and I fucking thought that was pretty cool. There was 400 people there, probably 300 when Loudness went on, but doesn't matter. For me, it was cool to be on a poster with Loudness.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That is cool. When did you get into Loudness? Was it back then? or
So here's, long story short, there was a record store called Records on Wheels. I had a friend called Kevin Ahoff. There's a name for you. And neither one of us had enough money to buy 2 albums each, but we could buy 1 each.
Okay.
So we would go down to Records on Wheels, and we'd find the records we want. And if I wanted 2 and he wanted 2, we would find which one would you buy? If I buy this one, which one will you buy? well, how about this one? So we would both buy an album that the other kind of wanted and then trade them.
Kind of share.
And he bought Loudness, Thunder in the East. And I think that week I bought Megadeth, Peace Cells, and we traded them.
Okay.
It was like sometimes it was Raven and Lizzie Borden or fucking Anthrax and whatever. And that was the week. So we traded it back and forth. And the thing I remember, and you'll appreciate this being ex-Hugh Hefner disciples, I bought my record. I lent it to him. I got my Peace Cells, which smelled like cigarette smoke because their parents were bad smokers. And when he handed it back to me, it smelled like such bad smoke. And all of the Playboy magazines that we stole from his dad, Al's closet, stunk like smoke that made my room smell like smoke that my mom thought I was smoking. I'm like, I wasn't smoking. Why does it smell like smoke? Thunder in the East.
Yeah.
Ahoff's album. And meanwhile, it was all the fucking porn magazines that I had stashed that smelled like cigarettes.
I don't know why, but our uncle used to always call Playboys sports books.
Now we know the real plot behind Back to the Future 2, the sports book.
Yeah. He'd be like, hey, you guys want some of these old sports books? I don't need these anymore. All right. So, Chris L., have you seen this video before?
I've probably seen it. I have no recollection of it. It's a performance clip, though, right? Tooge?
Yeah, it's a performance clip combined with some fans, and it's very strange. And there's also, listen, if you know this song, you'll know this refrain. If you don't, MZA. Now, Z is the Canadian pronunciation of Z.
Correct.
You guys say Z, we say Z, unless you're Quentin Tarantino, where it's who's Zed, Zed's dead, baby, or if you're in Loudness, where they chant MZA. And I'm looking for Rich to do some research on this and try and figure out, it's the eternal question, the question that I wanted to ask Loudness when we played the show with them in fucking Long Island, but they never gave us the time of day. What does MZA mean?
Oh. So you don't know?
Rich is
No
on
one
it.
knows.
No one knows. Okay. Well, are you guys ready to get into it?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're doing the video.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
this time we'll probably focus more on the music than we did last week, but
This video doesn't show them dance around like idiots.
yeah.
It's got a crunchy killer riff to open the video. So let me ask, Chris, Chris L, you're a guitar player, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else guitar players? I know Chris is for sure.
Nick,
how is that tone for you guys?
that's probably in the very top tier of LA hair metal guitar tone
In 1984.
Oh, absolutely.
And this comes from Tokyo, Japan.
Yeah.
That fucking tone is killer.
Absolutely. I would say the tone I would compare it to, which is a benchmark guitar tone of that area, is Under Lock and Key.
It's Lynch. You know what? You pointed that out. That's a real Lynch style.
Absolutely.
And also,
yeah.
like I said, with the musicianship, it's like boom, 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 combined with the tom hits.
Yeah.
These guys are a great musicianship band, prog rock and party rock combined, like the Eat 'Em and Smile record.
Well, I think comparing it to the Eat 'Em and Smile band is a bit extreme. I mean, those guys.
Well, that's different level.
Vi and Sheehan.
But these guys could do. They could do.
They're good players,
Yeah.
no question about
They
it.
have great
Especially the
chemistry.
guitar player, highly regarded. I don't think I've ever said otherwise.
I'm gonna let the Garlic Dragon read this when the time is right.
But we found the
Passing
answer
notes
to the
over.
question.
We found
Rich works quick.
He does. Yeah, well, they're not at Vi and Sheehan's level. Obviously, nobody is.
I mean,
And we can honestly say that we should do a Roth song next time, fucking Shy Boy or something. Nobody is. But these guys in 1984, nobody was as technically proficient as Loudness was, and you could because listen. Dawkins had George Lynch. Jeff Pilson ain't doing what Masayoshi Yamashita is. Yeah, boy. Mic drop. Can you feel me?
I like the riff a lot, actually. Like
it's a great riff.
I like how it gets dark. It gets more like just sinister toward the end. Like as far as where I mean, it's not a big long riff or anything like that, but
At the time, where riffs were about like tap down.
Yeah, I mean,
tap down. The found.
it's like a Judas Priest-ish
But
riff.
but the thing about it too is when you watch it with the video, like right now you've paused it. There's a stack of Marshalls, and the drummer, Munetaka Higuchi, who's since passed away from cancer, God bless him, is fucking doing the sticks, tricks, and lipstick fix better than almost anybody at the time.
Yeah, and it's got a good groove to it too.
Right.
It's got
And-
that pedaling
let me
bass tone,
and let me-
bass line.
And let me just say, this was the opening track on Thunder in the East. So when you put the needle on the record, put the needle on the record, this is what you heard.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said anything differently. Like I said, I've bashed Kiss
No, not yeah.
way more about this whole ridiculous situation that I've concocted in my own brain.
There
I
you
admit
go.
that
Yeah.
over loudness. Now, as we get more into it, I'll give a little more insight into some of my other opinions on it.
I can dig that. That's cool.
But Akira, unassailable, one of the greats, and this is a good
What
riff,
kind of
and
a-
it sounds good. It's nicely produced, as opposed to the Wasp crap that we
Terrible.
heard a couple of years
Terrible.
ago, or a couple episodes ago.
Terrible.
It sounds good.
And once again, listen, is this a Sony thing because it's Japan and Sony Walkmans, blah, blah, blah. I think this is Max Norman doing this, which is a famous American producer. So you got, what kind of guitar is that, Chris?
That's an ESP Star, and I know that because my boy Jeff Richard down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is a huge Akira fan, a ESP guitars fan. If you guys ever need any guitar tech work down that way, he's the guy. Runs the Fret Shack down there.
That's fucking awesome, the Fret Shack.
Yeah, he knows his shit. He's a huge Akira fan.
Shout out to the Fret Shack.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is my, I think, first listen. This is pretty awesome, actually. Like I'm
Never
I'm
heard
really,
this before.
No, and
But
just
see, that's
and
why I love
everything-
this. That's why I love this show. This show as Pot of Thunder, because you guys don't know these songs. Like you said,
in some cases.
when this was first played for me as a 13-year-old kid, I said, "This is fucking killer."
This and everything.
Who is this?
I mean, you guys talked about it already, but everything sounds great. I mean, like the kick drum is just
The production is killer.
It's
I like to hear.
devastating.
I like to hear a little more. Always like to hear a little more crack on the snare, but that's my only quibble with the production.
It was produced by Max Norman for On Your Bike Limited. Do you guys remember that? Anyone?
On Your
Rage
Bike.
That was always the production. So I pulled up the lyrics, and once again, these are phonetically concocted lyrics. You come to see the show. Well, we're going to rock and roll you. Come on, get on your seat. We're going to make you feel all right. That's what we got.
It's very Scorpions so
Yeah.
far. Your lyric,
And like a chest pumping,
Yeah.
we're here to rock the
And
rock
much like the
house.
slightly confused Rudolf Schenker, Klaus Meine, who've been speaking English for 50 years, but not really, they still don't quite get it right, and these guys don't quite get right.
Right, but
either.
you touched on it earlier, and that's exactly right. It's like there are a lot of dickheads who just from a racial standpoint would mock these
Right.
guys for the look and the enunciation of the vocals.
Right.
That was where they became almost like a laughing stock, which was,
Listen, can you imagine in this day and age with the Me Too and the snowflakes and the frickin' this, that, and thing, if someone went, lock and roll loudness, you'd be like, that's racist. And it was racist, but people would laugh at them for saying, oh, do you like loudness? Do you mean loudness?
Right,
Hey,
yeah.
motherfucker, no, I mean loudness. I never saw them as anything other than a great rock and roll band. And much like Halloween, who you guys know I'm a huge fan of.
Sure, yeah.
Which we should do a Halloween song. They came from Germany, learned how to speak English to play rock and roll, and it was great. Loudness came from Japan, learned English to play rock and roll, and it's great. There's not 15 Loudnesses, there's not 15 Halloweens, there's not 15 Kisses. There's bands that are good for what they do, and whether they're from Japan or America or whatever, good is good, and this is fucking good.
Andy, are you familiar with this song?
I wasn't until, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. I listened to it several times since then. But
Yeah.
How did
Yeah.
you stumble upon it?
Because we talked about it on
Oh,
Pot
okay.
of Thunder.
So you checked it out?
Yeah, but that's it.
And,
But-
did you appreciate it?
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. It's what Nick said. The riff is sinister. They've kind of got a little bit of a Motley Crue vibe, at least in this video,
Yeah.
visually. And I think the singer actually kind of looks like Mick Mars.
If Mick Mars was the singer.
A little bit.
And once again, this is 1984, so these guys came from Tokyo, and they got it right away. If we want to crack the Americans, let me tell you a little bit. I don't know who's fucking listening at this point anymore.
Everybody.
Thank you. Loudness had started in '79 as a Japanese rock and roll band, and as they morphed and evolved, 81, 82, they were super motley. Leather Records, whatever
Mhm.
that was called. They got it. They morphed and knew we have to compete with this. So when they got the record deal right off the bat, which I think was Enigma or Capitol or something, they were ready. They had 5 albums before this.
Oh, okay.
So this was not their first record ever. This is their first American record, and they came across ready to fucking go to war, man. And they did a great job.
Right, and I was actually a guest on the Lipstick Panel podcast where we did. They do analyses of entire albums, and we did one of their early albums.
Birthday Eve, Devil Child,
It was. I want to say it was Disillusion.
Disillusion. That's a great one.
And I liked it. And I heard a lot, like you said, I heard a lot of prog elements, some Rush elements to it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good.
How can I get on the Lipstick podcast to talk about Loudness?
I can touch base with you, put you in touch with them. They love Loudness on their
I want to
show.
say, listen, thanks for you guys giving me a forum to talk about Loudness. I fucking love Loudness, man. So there you go. Sorry.
Make me mad and wild. Well, we're gonna rock and pile you. We're gonna do our best. The beat kicks you in the head. All right.
Can I just give you some lyrics there?
Yes, please.
You make me mad and wild. Well, we're going to rock and pile you. We're going to do our best.
That's nice.
That's always nice to
That's
hear.
all you want from your bands and your sports teams. Just do your best.
And we just
Act like you care.
and we just want you to rock and pile us.
Exactly.
We just say that. The beat kicks you in the head, all right. We're gonna get crazy tonight. I just want the beat to just can the beat kick me in the head? I remember the Dick Clark famous American Bandstand when they said, "Well, what do you think of the song?" I said, "I just want the beat to kick me in the head and I can dance to it."
Yeah.
Love it.
Anything?
Is that when Loudness was on?
Yeah.
American
I think it was
Bandstand?
Cool in the
Yeah.
Gang. But
I
whatever.
just want the beat to make me sit on my balls. That's what I want it to do.
We need an Andrew Christopher Hewitt. Ooh, hello, ladies, or whatever he says. What did he used to say? Was Mr. Belvedere a fucking
Wesley.
oh? Was he like a nanny or something?
Yeah, he was like
Butler,
the
right?
housekeeper.
Oh,
We
yeah.
need a Mr. Belvedere soundbite. Hello, Wesley, and they put whoa.
Actually, we
can do
can
that.
use the that Twilight Zone elephant sound for when he sits on his balls.
Hello, Wesley. Whoa.
Wesley was the name of the ball he sat on.
It's gonna get crazy tonight. Me, you on the wild.
Not, I don't know, the strange visual just happened. They're showing the crowd and they were sped up to Babe Ruth hitting a home run speed.
I do like. I love that riff. Hold on a second.
Fly, let's fly away. What are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Ruining a perfectly good song. For your information, I'm making my singing debut right here on Mr. Belvedere. When? Friday. Hey, where are you
Bob Euchre?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He was on the show.
Motherfucking Bob Euchre was on Mr. Belvedere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the dad.
Wasn't Bob Euchre like an umpire or some shit?
He was rather a famously unsuccessful ball player and announcer.
Announcer still, right?
Bob
To this day?
Uecker was
I think
also
so.
one of the early hosts of WrestleMania.
Oh,
Under
that's
the
right.
giant put his Rich knows he put a giant. Yeah, you
Yeah.
choked him. So Bob Uecker not only was a mildly successful Major League Baseball player, coach,
He was a player.
He was a catcher. He wasn't a very good hitter. He hit around 200 almost all the time, and was more famous for making fun of himself.
In the light beer commercials.
Yeah, light beer
yeah.
commercials.
he became a personality,
And he was in what, Major League?
Major
Was
League.
that-
and then he ended up in Mr. Belvedere.
I remember watching sports blooper shows hosted by him when I was younger. He was all over the place.
When I learned that he was the Brewers' everyday play-by-play announcer, I couldn't believe it. I thought he was just an actor, but that's his full-time gig, radio
Do you
announcer.
think, Bob Uecker ever heard the story that Mr. Belvedere sat on his ball bag?
Oh my God, absolutely.
He sat on his Winslow.
He
Was it Winston?
Wesley.
Wesley.
Yeah, Bob Uecker, though, as a player, not very good, so therefore, as such, never appeared in any sped-up highlight videos.
No.
A la Babe Ruth.
And I wanted to comment the look that they've got going on. It is Motley Crue-ish.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm thinking
Somebody made those clothes for him.
you could insert Rudy Sarzo when he was an Ozzy into this
Dude,
on
great
stage here,
call.
and absolutely the outfit, the look, everything.
Great fucking dude. If you photoshopped him out and stuck him on the S Festival over top of Rudy Sarzo, I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
Because Rudy Sarzo, he wasn't playing guitar, obviously, but he fucking looked just like that.
And he had the same kind of boots, I think.
Yeah, and same hair. Rudy still does it. People bag on Rudy.
He's great.
They should. Why would they do that?
well,
Because
he's-
the White Snake, the licking of the bass, is that it?
No, because he's been amazing in every band, including now with the Guess Who.
Of course.
He just had his 69th birthday, and someone went, "Oh, Rudy Sarzo's hair is terrible." I'm like, really? He's 69, and he's got long black hair.
Yeah.
If that's terrible to you, go fuck your ass. When I'm 69, I hope I have long black hair. Did I dye it? Maybe. Is it cut like Malcolm Young in 79? Maybe. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Rudy Sarzo's hair is terrible. If your only problem at 69 is that you have terrible long hair, you can go fuck your ass.
Yeah.
If you have great hair that people said is terrible.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
He
what's-
looks like an old woman. He's an old man, and he's got killer long hair. Listen, right?
Yeah.
Two of us in this room have hair that's left.
yeah. And
God,
it
bl-
ain't
God,
me
bl-
and Nick.
God bless us,
Yeah.
America's little
Are we-
brother.
are we-
we're
are we
we're our
talking-
only hope.
Hanging on.
Are we talking neck up or neck down? Because that changes the answer.
Obi-Wan Harley, you're our only hope. Fuck, I wish I could be Rudy Sarzo at 69 with a full head of hair.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I've been throwing paychecks worth of science at my hair for decades now, trying to keep it. So.
Hair Club for Men, Schaumburg. Johnny speaking. Sorry.
Seymour
Shout out-
speaking.
Call
no.
back.
Oh, no.
Call back.
Do I have to jerk off again for him?
Not when, well. Did you do that when you
Yeah,
went
I
to the
did.
hair club?
Yes, I did.
Jeez Louise, you went to the wrong shop. You were ripped off.
Depends on your outlook.
Okay.
That was the right shot.
Rock and roll crazy night. You are the heroes tonight. Rock and roll
He smacked the bass.
Yeah,
a
he
la
did a
Rudy.
Ruzy Sarzo move right
A
there.
Ru-
Smacked
you did a
the bass.
Ruzy
Yeah.
Sarzo. Let me ask you this, Chris L. as a guitar player. What's up with fucking Kira's headstock
Yeah,
there?
that's pretty weird looking.
That's strange.
That's the headstock that was on the Star model.
It's almost like he made it himself, like Brian May and his father.
I'll put you in touch with the guy who runs the Fret Shack. He knows everything about this guy. and
Anybody
his
that owns a
guitar.
business that has the something shack afterwards is my friend. The shrimp shack, the barbecue shack, the bikini shack, the sex shack, the go fuck your ass shack, whatever. I love
Anything shack is okay.
the basketball shack.
Yeah.
See what I did there? Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't have to apologize.
Thanks, man.
But yeah,
That was like the fourth worst joke of the day.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Not bad. Yeah.
Which makes it the second best joke.
But yeah, the Mean Reds drummer used to mock the the singing of this chorus all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's another connection I make. He would just walk around the rehearsal room, rock and roll crazy nights. We are the heroes tonight.
No, but
He would just
here's
walk
the
around
thing.
making fun of that.
But and why?
Because the inflection of the voice.
It's a
basically.
Japanese the guy. There's a guy called Marishi Ichides. He's like the Engelbert Humperdinck of Japanese singing. And he said, "Rock and roll crazy nights, you are the hero." Like, there's nothing wrong with it. If you're gonna bag on fucking Minoru Nihara for singing like that, then bag on Ron Keel for going whoa. Like, it's just generic shite.
You should bag on Ron Keel just to
in
do
general,
it anyway.
right. Jamie St. James from Black and Blue.
This
and
guy
fucking
puts Ron Keel to shame. Okay,
Iron Horse.
if you're named after a part of a boat,
that kills you.
fix your fucking name. It's like going to having the name Noseworthy.
And
fix it.
If your first name is after a Kurt Russell movie that involves boats,
What?
Captain Ron.
Captain Keel.
that was the fifth best joke of the night.
That was not the fifth best
No,
joke.
it might
sure
be
was.
seventh or
I think
eighth.
Noseworthy might be better because I'm part of the MTV generation. I know Noseworthy. Whatever happened to old Noseworthy? What's the other guys that George Costanza was in love with? Dan Sheckleby or something? Who's the guy on MTV that was like the big hotshot guy that was on Seinfeld?
Dan
Rich, I love the
Cortez.
fact that you're here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All you idiots can fuck off. Rich gives the answer.
You
Dan,
should
knows
become the
everything.
producer and just feed lines into our ear.
please do. Yeah, make our brother Andy like the Jack Tunney, like the figurehead that has zero power.
That's fine.
No, it just be the producer feeding you the information.
But was
in your
Dan
earpiece.
Cortez and Jack Noseworthy were huge MTV mid-90s stars.
And Jack Noseworthy was on Dead at 21. That was the name of the drama that he was on.
I think he was
MTV.
dead at 31. I'm not sure he's
His
with us now.
career was.
Oh, no, he's still-
he's
he's
He's with us. Okay, shout out.
Oh, no,
shout
we-
out Mr. Noseworthy. How about-
We check on him every once in a while.
Yeah,
have
he's
you
still
met
out
him at a
there. He's on
convention next
Twitter.
to Bob Kulick when he gets mad at you? What did Bob Kulick say to you again?
He said it. He said a couple things.
Oh, shit.
The one I was asking a question at the Q&A at the Kiss Expo. I said, "Yeah, I just have a quick question." He goes, "Not quick enough."
Shut up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's terrible.
So kind of laughed it off.
Well,
and
let
then
me ask you guys-
asked my
Bob's a little
stupid question.
salty. Bob gets a little salty.
Let me ask you this one. What is this from? You're ruining it for me.
Oh yeah, well,
I honestly don't know.
that
the
was,
story.
that was
That was
the
Bruce.
same. That was the same Q&A session.
Why
I
would
think.
you? Who was
Bruce
ruining
was talking about his first limo ride with Eric Carr
Yep.
after joining Kiss, and all Eric Carr could do was bitch about being in Kiss. He's like, "Shut up! You're ruining it for me."
I just played the solo on King of the Mountain.
Right.
My favorite Bob Kulick moment is when we had a friend of ours, I believe it was Justin, right, who listens, and we see him every year when we go, and we had something that he wanted us to sign, and we didn't have any markers, so he had a friend who was with him, and I don't think this friend really knew who the people at the booths were or whatever, and she walked over to Bob Kulick's booth, and can I use your Sharpie?
So I can get the Pot of Thunder
borrowed
autographs.
Bob Kulick Sharpie, handed it to us so we could sign something for this guy, and then gave it back to Bob Kulick.
And as a result, he threatened to blow up all our houses. So. We too have restraining orders against
Right.
Bob Kulick.
Do you think they just give out restraining orders? No, they don't. Fucking A.
There's the MZA.
Hold on Zed, Chris. I
We're
love the
in
fact
America,
that-
goddammit.
Well, this is Japan, and well, listen, in Tarantino's universe, he's in America too. Who's Zed? Zed's dead, baby. I love the fact that they used a Richie Cunningham track jacket with the letter M on it to represent M for MZA. Now, the chorus of this song, in case you haven't heard or not watching, is MZA. what the fuck does MZA mean?
See, I never knew that. I just thought it was hey, hey, hey when I heard it.
You never heard MZA?
Not really. I never paid that close attention.
Okay,
to
so
the-
when I was analyzing rock and roll at 13, as I am now at 49 fucking loser years, hanging out with a bunch of dummies like you guys, analyzing music.
Wow.
And
Vicious.
meanwhile, honestly, and loving this day, like whenever Chicago's on the itinerary, I'm like, I get to hang out with the fucking my boys, Part of Thunder guys. What does MZA mean? Thank you for the clearing of the throat.
Well, I don't want to mess this up here.
Can you do this next? Me.
Let me tell you.
Can't hit that note. I'll try later. Rich has just handed me this urgent bulletin.
Rich is the fact. Fucking Rich is holding this shit show together.
I
But
gotta-
losers.
Yeah, he's earning his keep.
This is an urgent bulletin. I'm taking my glasses off like Cronkite here as I read this.
Cronkite. Is Walter Cronkite still alive?
No.
Oh, fuck.
think
That
so.
sucks. I was hoping to get him on Talk is Jericho. Anyways.
You should get Dan Rather on before he
Dude,
passes.
I have a Dan Rather story. I'll tell you after Nick the Dragon
All right.
tells us this.
Okay, so while doing pre-production on the Thunder in the East album, the producer asked Nihara to sing something, and out came MZA, which ended up in the final track after the band could not find a line to replace MZA.
How could you? You could say rock and roll, crazy nights,
Rock and
either
roll.
one.
hey, hey,
Crazy
hey.
night.
I just figured it out in 1 second.
Or hey, hey, hey.
However,
hey.
he said in past interviews
Bring more yams. Anything
that
works.
it stands for.
Oh. It also said that in past interviews he would tell people it means my zebra's ass.
And we're looking at some nice zebra print right here.
That's
on the video.
Masayoshi Yamashita's clothes there.
Speaking of Wesley's, that sounds like a Wesley Willis sound.
Who the fuck is Wesley Willis, man?
My zebra's ass.
Yeah,
He's a local legend.
The whipped my zebra's ass, something like that.
Who's the guy that I don't like that I met somewhere one day?
That was
Worst description ever. Who's the guy I don't like that I met somewhere one day?
That we brought around? Or?
Yeah, one of your fucking guys. I met him somewhere. When I am John Johnson. Or
Tom Codal.
No.
No,
I met him
who could not like Tom?
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking
That's
of who
ridiculous.
else he met that we would have. I think that's the only other guy we had around.
It could be confusing with other kids.
Yeah, maybe.
No, it was you guys. Michael Culieri or Michael
Michael Cavaccini.
That motherfucker. You know who's,
Well, he wasn't with us. That's why I was confused.
who's he with?
He knows us, but he met you in Philadelphia
No,
or
you
something.
put him on your show and he's talking shit.
Oh yeah, but not with you.
No, but you
He
know.
called. He Skyped in. I thought you meant when you hung out with us.
Careful.
Who was
That's
in
a
the
$5
room?
microphone.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
Did you just hear that crush my kneecap? Because that fucking hurt.
Oh no,
Dude, I was telling there's some guy that you talk about, whatever, and I met him at a thing.
Yes, I got it now.
And I yelled at him, and I took a pic. He wanted to take a picture of me in the fucking Biffy from taking a leak ski. I'm like, dude. He's like, I'm Michael Cavaccino. Can I take a picture with you? I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm pissing. I'm pissing in the fucking. I'm
Launching
filling the
into
toilet with
Cavaccino.
Blackie Lawless's fucking shit. And he would not leave me alone. And he said, "Can we take a picture?" I took a dumb picture with him, and that was
Dumb
him,
picture.
Michael Cavaccini.
That was him.
Who is that guy?
he's a good friend of ours.
From where?
He's
I don't know. From listening to the
From
show.
listener, and then I met him on
Chris
the
has
Kiss
met him.
cruise.
Okay,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
Much respect to Michael Cavaccini, but you guys never buzzed me on it. Some fucking guy accosted me in the bathroom.
We didn't
We
know
didn't
that
know he was
there.
doing that shit.
Yeah, I was
We're not his boss. We don't.
Why did
keep tabs
Chris
on him.
L was taking a leak ski, and he said, on behalf of Chris L, I shake your hand. I said, dude, like I love Chris L, but
Hey.
He said, and leave it where it is while I shake it.
we did take a picture. I think I had to run, I think I had pulled a scam, so I have to run and go wait in the lobby for the limo or something. And he's, don't follow me.
I'm off to a rock and roll crazy night for sure.
You are the hero.
You guys got into a feud, and then it was on some wrestling blog or
was-
something. Do you remember that? It was like
Well, I remember that. I think I sent you an audio clip that you sent to a wrestling blog.
never,
Oh.
never.
You know,
I would
my,
never do that.
my dad has a printout of that blog.
Here's what it-
hanging up in his garage right now.
My dad was on Pot of Thunder, so my dad could out Pot of Thunder your dad.
true.
That's true.
My dad
Exactly.
did the intro once.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
My
he did
sons
the
are
theme music.
losers.
Yeah, it was hard to edit that to say Pot of Thunder.
Say what you want about Cavaccini.
My part on the losers.
Say what you want about Cavaccini, but there's one thing that sets him apart from everybody else in this room and possibly on the planet. He is Dionne Warwick's fuck toy. So
Now, is there something behind that?
He's a very good friend of hers.
he's a friend of hers, knows her in a biblical sense.
Wow, let me tell you this. I would give up my 9 appearances on Pot of Thunder to be a Tina Turner fuck toy, not a Dionne Warwick fuck toy.
All right.
That's what friends are. Fuck off. I want fucking. I'm your private dancer. Dancer. Listen, you guys
Why are
hear?
you singing? Why are you singing that like the singer from Loudness?
You will come to see the dancer. You will come to rock and
Did
Tina.
they sing,
Donna, we
do
love
a
you.
cover of that
Tina
one?
Turner's 80 years old. Shout out to Tina Turner for 80th birthday.
That's true.
You know what?
Big 8-0.
You know what Tina would say to the chorus of this song? She'd say, "We don't need another hero."
Good call. And then she'd say, "You're simply the best." What else is there?
She would.
We don't need another hero. What's the other one? What's the big one? I'm trying. What's love got? That's the one.
There you go.
There's another one in between. There's
Yeah, I hear it. It's in there somewhere.
What was her big song after What's Love Got to Do with It? There's a big song she had.
There
Rolling
was
on the river.
No, not
No.
Private Dan. Oh my gosh.
There's there was one. There was one from when the movie came out, right? Didn't she have a hit around the time when the biopic came out?
Biopic?
What?
Yeah, I say biopic.
Is it biopic?
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
I don't care who's wrong or right. I don't really want to fight.
That's not
no more.
it. That's not it. That's
Time
not
for
it.
letting go. Why do I know this whole song?
There's a
I thought you were talking about the
huge-
biopic thing.
No, there's a huge Tina Turner. Hold on a second. A Private Dancer.
Unraveling.
I'm gonna tell you. No, it's not, that's not the one I want.
Does anybody want yams?
All the Loudness fans, just take a break. This is
Here.
a little segue.
Here we go. Here.
Kick out the yams, mother! Yeah!
How
I
many-
can't
how many-
stand the rain. Is
How
that
many
it?
Buck Cherry songs do you have on your thing?
Oh, here it is. Better be good to me. That's
Dude,
the
I was just
one.
giggling right now. By the way, okay, can you play it? Can we
Play
get-
what?
I don't know.
The Tina Turner song?
No, play the loud.
Are we calling it audible
Move,
on the-
Let's move ahead with the loudness.
I'm enjoying the Loudness song, by the way. I forgot why I stopped it 20 minutes ago. Now I remember.
Okay.
I kept trying to think, what does this riff remind me of? It's Balls to the Wall. It's not
Good
exact,
call.
but
Good
it
call.
definitely has that.
And that's another
feel to it.
great guitar tone coming from
Amazing.
Germany.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I mean, that's like
Thank you on behalf of all of Germany.
quintessential LA
It's just-
Sunset Strip guitar tone.
Can I ask,
It doesn't get any better
Can
than
I
that.
ask him?
Great call on that.
Can I
No.
ask America's Little Brother a quick question? So, Better Be Good to Me, Tina Turner, the song that we're both trying to figure out, co-written by Holly Knight.
Mm-hmm.
What Kiss hit
Reason to Live.
did Holly Knight help write?
Reason to Live?
No,
Not Reason to Live.
it's a hit. It's a huge hit. They
Not
still
Forever. No.
They still play it from time to time nowadays.
Mm.
Same era.
Not Lick It Up.
Heavens on
Heavens
Fire.
on Fire.
Hey, hey,
Oh, that's right.
Hide Your Heart.
Yes,
Your Heart.
Hard Your Heart. And she also said, I pledge allegiance to the state of rock and roll, which is another super amazing Paul Stanley song. So Holly Knight is a Kiss contributor. Thanks to that.
Good call.
But you know what Holly Knight, do you know who Holly Knight never contributed to?
Loudness.
Exactly. Here we go.
You come to see the show. Well, we're gonna rock and shock you. Come below your feet. The sound hits you in the face. Alright, ooh, let's get so crazy.
There was some brutality to him telling
Kick
me
you
it's
in the
going to hit me in the face.
Kick you in the
Or
face.
kick me in the face.
Dude, the sound is gonna kick you in the
It
face.
is, and
I'm fucking like that. Like our sound is gonna kick you in your fucking face, man.
There's nothing wrong with that sentiment.
And then it's combined with a guy just bashing a gong a la Alex Van Halen on Van Halen 2 circa 1979, man.
And it works with
Jim Brewer imitation.
So that was my David Lee Roth.
I thought it was-
Excuse me, sir, have you ever heard of the American rock and roll band Van Halen?
It's good.
Sounded more like Jim Brewer from Half Baked, but anyway.
He's been leeching off Hetfield's fucking ass for 16 years.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Sorry.
Who hasn't even leeching off of?
Wasn't he supposed to be on your cruise?
Yes. You know why he was not on my cruise?
What happened? I know he's
Fucking Lars stole me to open for Metallica. Let me tell you this. All of us musicians here, except for maybe Rich, not sure, whatever. We
Plays
made a
the skin
mistake.
flute.
Or the bagpipes. I'm grabbing balls as I'm
Wesley.
Yeah.
special attention to Wesley.
We made a mistake, guys. We all got into rock and roll, or Paul Stan would say rock and roll, to open for our favorite bands. Problem is, we did not go about it the right way. If you want to open for our favorite bands, my two favorite bands are two of my top 4 or 5, Metallica and Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to open for Metallica, don't get in a rock and roll band. Become a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to open for Kiss, don't get in a rock and roll band. Oh, yeah. Become a fucking painter.
Right.
That's true.
You guys are fucking morons, man.
Well,
You really blew it.
this has long been established.
You should have
So-
worked on your comedian skills and your painting skills.
Well, according to your dad, or according to our dad, you got the money, I got the sense of humor.
How do you? He
Sounds
never
about
said
right.
that.
Yes, he did.
He said one is the money, one is the sense of humor. Why are you assuming? I mean, how much? What do you think? Why do you think I have any money? I got no fucking money. I'm not on Pot of Thunder.
Get out of here.
Well, hey, waka waka. I'm funny guy.
I was born.
I'm funny guy. Hey, Rich, I tell you funny joke, make me laugh, brother.
So Andy, how's it going?
I was
over
born.
there?
Good, man.
I was born at
What are you
night.
guys doing
I wasn't
tomorrow?
born last night.
Hey, man.
got some family
I
coming
was born.
over for
Hey,
dinner.
Chris, I was born in a crossfire hurricane, and I want to dance like Mick Jagger. Oh yeah, call back.
Ooh, McSquire.
There you go.
So the production of this video, Mr. Chris J said that it's
Thanks, man.
well, okay.
It's
You're welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
You said that it's like filmed in a basement, and it's actually a higher production value than I was expecting. I was
Okay.
expecting I'm pretty sure I could speak for Chris L. One of his favorite videos of all time, "Scarred for Life" by Rose Tattoo.
Yeah. I mean,
Which-
there's a proper sound stage. that they're
Which
filming.
really is just kind of like a public access studio
Let me
set.
ask you this: do you think Angry Anderson would have been a good replacement for Bon Scott and AC/DC? Because you know the rumor is he was one of the candidates.
I believe he could have done it. I mean, in hindsight, Brian Johnson obviously was the guy, but I think don't they say about Angry Anderson that he's always like the second best singer in Australia,
behind.
behind whoever's in AC/DC.
Well, you know what they always say about Angry Anderson?
Huh.
He's really fucking angry.
Knew that was coming.
Come on, dude. What do I got? I got nothing. I
he's-
lost. Ted Irvin's gone. I got nobody to work with.
They're coming to Chicago.
Angry Anderson?
Yeah.
Rose Tattoo.
That, you know what? Here's the thing. God bless him. I love any band. It's like Diamond Head. Diamond Head's coming down. Why does anybody of our generation give 3 fucks about Diamond Head? Because Metallica covered them.
Mm-hmm.
Why does anybody give 3 fucks about Rose Tattoo? That's if you're in Australia. It's
Is
Tattoo.
it because GNR covered
That's the
them?
reason. Bad boys like to rock and roll.
You know, honestly though,
like to rock and roll.
I found that out after I'd heard the
Okay,
the,
so you're
the Rose
a
Tattoo.
Rose
I
Tattoo.
maybe I'm an exception, but yeah,
man.
I'd heard because
So you're-
Chris actually introduced me to
Okay.
Rose Tattoo years and years ago.
Yeah,
and
so
they're
the Scarred for Life video sold me on its
Gotcha.
own merits. Plus, they have one of the greatest bios ever written.
What
That's
was
where
it?
we get the phrases "overwhelming masculinity" and "jungle maleness" was in this bio.
Jungle-
I'll send you a link to it. It's
Thanks,
great.
dude. Rich already did. Jungle maleness.
And overwhelming masculinity.
We should. Here's the big thing. The big thing on the streets now is to start a clothing line. I think we should start the Jungle Maleness clothing line. That's got some potential.
I like it.
That would also be a good men's fragrance name.
Well, you can
lots of money,
both.
lots of money in fragrances.
In the jungle, the best 8-minute Kiss song ever. Sorry. All right, let's get back to the gong. Wow. Stop.
That's thunderous, man. That whole breakdown.
And the reason why I said stop is next is coming up with a fucking killer solo, so I thought we'd get all of our other thoughts before we get to the solo. I like the fact that Nick is super into this, man.
I am, and I honestly have never really listened to it before. So,
but it's powerful, right? Like, there's some power there.
Yeah, and that whole breakdown with the tom hits and everything. It sounds
it's
massive.
Arena filling stuff. You could picture a whole arena chanting along.
Let me say this.
You would like this whole album, I think.
I'm gonna have to get
it.
This song is great, but there's like, oh my gosh, Run Like Like Hell is amazing. Heavy Chains is amazing. We Could Be Together is amazing. Fuck this. Point being,
Sat on My Balls is amazing.
You sat on my balls, Wesley. Oh, Wesley, you sat on my balls. Somebody had the vision in 1984. No, listen. This is not the cyber world we live in now. Was 1919, 94. Hold on. 35 years ago. Some asshole like us, probably more like Chris L. Chris L's an executive. We're just peons. Chris L is like a music executive.
No more Grey Goose for him.
No, seriously. You have the attitude. Sorry. Out of 9 times, I'm finally understanding that you're the greatest guy ever. Point being,
it's about fucking time. I don't know what took
listen,
so long.
You're my half brother. You go fuck your ass. I'm not going to give you a half Christmas present. Point being is this: in 1984, Chris
push somebody down a staircase after this.
We got a lot of. Please go back and listen to last week's episode to understand what we're talking about. But Chris, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
In 1984, when the heavy metal movement was starting, because it was really coming to play right now, we can all agree about this, because we all understood the transition from the 70s to the 80s. So in 84, they're looking for great bands. This is very early on. Somebody found Loudness and put them on a major label. I think it was Elektra or Enigma or Capitol, whatever it was.
Did it say Capitol at the beginning?
Rich, can you look up Thunder in the East, what record label it was
Get on it,
And I've got more stuff for Rich to look up, too.
Point
we'll
being,
get to that.
somebody found them and brought them to America in 84 and really understood these guys are really good.
Well, and like you said, and it's you didn't have to say it. It's a documented fact. They had 4 albums under their belt.
Sure they did, but
why?
why go to Tokyo when you can go to New York or
Well,
LA
but that's
or
the thing.
Detroit?
You never know. They got A&R guys. They were sending them all over the world.
'Cause
They must just seen them.
There was a
and
lot
said-
of money at the time, right?
and been like, you know what, we can market these guys.
Yeah, and they found
that's really
them.
all it is.
And I think, honestly, the only reason why they weren't bigger than they were, when they were never big in the States, was because of, like we said earlier, there's a little bit of was it Rich? Columbia. So Columbia's a big record
huge
label.
label.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
There was some xenophobia towards the Japanese thing.
No question. That is absolutely the number one thing. People making fun of the
I have a great story
accent and all
about
that.
and you'll appreciate this. When I was trying to get people into Metallica in my high school, and this was 1984. Metallica sucks. This is so crazy to think about now, but at the time, Metallica, they're a bunch of losers. They suck. So I got the song Escape from Ride the Lightning,
Mhm.
1984. I was with my friend Drew Jones. Had a very
Any relation?
to
To me, so is the
Wow.
same name as me.
you guys. Tell me, you ever had a guy?
More half brother is being discovered.
great.
You ever had
Like, we need that.
cousin half brother in Winnipeg named Drew Jones?
It's possible.
Point being, he hated Metallica. He loved hair metal. I put the song Escape on and said, listen, I got a copy of the new Rat demo. My cousin lives in L.A. This is the new Rat demo. Robin Crosby singing. Okay?
Wow.
We can all agree with Escape came on, Hetfield. He goes, this is fucking great. I said, you really like it? He goes, yeah, like Robin Crosby sounds great. And like, when is Stephen Pierce? I was like, you know what, you fucking idiot. It's not Rat, it's Metallica.
That's a pretty well thought out deception.
I was a Metallica disciple. So when a guy's like that, so you're not listening to the band. My point being, you're not listening to the band because you're seeing the name Metallica and going, it sucks. You've never heard a song. I think a lot of people said Japanese metal band Loudness, it's gonna suck without ever hearing it. If you put this on and said, this is the new Dawkins song from the fucking, the first track on the, Under Lock and Key or Back for the Attack or whatever, people would have went, this is rad. And they never would have known the difference.
Well, and then by this point, the Germans had already proved themselves in metal, and like hard rock, heavy metal.
They had,
and now we have another one of the
Axis
the Axis powers.
Is that where you're going with this?
Yes. Another one of the Axis powers getting in.
it all goes back to the Axis and Allies.
And
So when does Italy come into the mix?
I don't know.
Never. To
Michelangelo Badio sounds pretty
He's
Italian.
he's a wop from northern New York City, New York.
A drool from northern.
So on the whole, like marketing this band, on the subject of that, so 84.
And this is 84.
Is this around the time when McDonald's had chopsticks? And
What?
and
What are you
like
doing?
no, that was a real thing.
They had
And
chopsticks?
yeah,
Wow.
I remember. I have a memory of when I was young. McDonald's had like some kind of sweet and sour thing with chopsticks, and it wasn't like the movie Gung Ho happening around this time. I mean, wasn't there like there like a big kind of like
shout out to Getty Watanabe.
Yeah.
But wasn't there like a big
No more Yankee, my wanky. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying there was a big Japanese
That's his name,
thing
Wasn't there a
going on.
Japanese invasion at that point? Not a literal one.
No, but
that
there
happened
was-
in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
No. There was but
1941.
between Yankee Long Duck Dong, Loudness, and Nick's Theory
Careful
Stick.
now.
Dude, fuck off! I've been to Japan 60 times. I've been to China 5 times. I've been to Korea 5 times. If you fucking wrong with you on the hero.
That about says it.
Yeah, let's hear some guitar work here from Akira.
Wow. Come on. I love that.
Great solo. A few moments reminded me very much of the Bark at the Moon solo. There were a few moments that sounded almost like they were exactly from that solo.
And the
as
best
well.
part of the
Yeah.
solo, they showed the fucking bass player. That really
Listen, but
that wicked run he was doing, they showing the bass
Hey man,
player.
he was the bass player fucking hanging out on the streets of Tokyo, like, ready to crunch it. Little fucking Gojira action there. Listen, I'll tell you what.
Crunch it like an Ortega taco shop.
Call back.
No corn.
I really enjoyed the George Lynch comparison, but I also enjoy the Jake Lee comparison.
Oh yeah, it's there too.
That's just what jumped. The first time hearing the solo, that's what jumped out at me.
And I
Bark
want to say
at the
something.
Moon.
and nice and forward in the mix, in your face, aggressive sounding.
And you know what? It's a great solo.
Yeah.
It's a great solo.
And it's not full shredding incoherent shredding the whole time. It's just
It's the right shred.
yeah. It comes and goes at the right times, and there's some really great like double note bends at the beginning, and good use of the whammy bar.
If anybody at home is listening and has never heard of Loudness, please listen to Thunder in the East, Lightning Strikes, and Hurricane Eyes. You will come back with a whole new thought about this band. Also, in the video, drummer Munetaka Higuchi, like I mentioned earlier, passed away from cancer. He's really playing like Robert Sweet. He's about the sticks, tricks, and lipstick fix. Hands in the air. Snare, clap, up in the arm. Clap, boom, up in the sky. Boom, up in the ceiling.
Gong
boom.
work is without peer.
His gong work is amazing.
Perhaps the best gong man in the business. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Can I tell you my most disappointing gong experience?
Interesting.
Of course.
God.
Does it have to do with Dan Rather?
Sorry. Thanks for remembering that one. We'll tell that story. I do have a good Dan Rather story. It was very much like a Gene Simmons story. Gong.
Your most disappointing gong.
Did anybody see the Police reunion tour?
Nick
I
did.
Wrigley
Nick saw
Field.
Wrigley Field.
Yep.
All four of us did.
I
How
did
about- how
not.
about- Sorry?
Did you see?
No, only Nick
only
did.
I did.
Only
Nick did.
I went. I saw the Wrigley Field show.
Three
yeah.
out of the four of us / ipso facto 5 if you count Rich.
Yeah.
Amazing intro. Police. We haven't seen them in 28 years. There's no intro video. There's nothing. What's the intro for the Police show?
The intro was Andy Summers coming out playing the riff from Synchronicity 2.
No, there's one before it. Stuart Copeland comes on stage and hits the gong for no apparent reason.
I don't know if he did that at the show I was at.
First of all, why does the police need a fucking gong on stage?
Because they
Hey,
play
man.
Walking in Your Footsteps, and he needs every percussive instrument
Hey, that's
known
great.
to
Listen.
man during that.
Hey, listen, man. If Garlic Nick and fucking Chris L and fucking Chris J, Step Brothers Extraordinaire, we're in a band. And
we should make a remake of Step Brothers, me and him.
Are we just best friends? Yes.
Let's call it Half Brothers.
Hold on. My point is, if we had not been in a band for 28 years and suddenly we get back together, I would put together a fucking video package from 1970 whatever till 2005. A great 1 or 2 minute package that ends with like Sting going, "I'll never get back together. I'm clinically insane."
That sounds like I saw Anthrax when Belladonna came back.
Right.
And that's what they had. They
had
had
a
a video intro, a montage like that, and it was a pretty cool
It's great.
intro. Yeah,
It's great. Don't just have them walk on stage where Stuart goes, gong, gong, gong for no apparent reason.
I don't remember the gong, but Andy Summers coming out just playing that riff by himself was a little bit underwhelming.
Let me tell you something funny about that. Are you still with us, America's
Yes,
Little
yes,
Brother?
yes.
Oh,
I'm here for the paycheck. I'm here.
Well, keep waiting, brother. I had a friend. He's since passed away. Shout out to a fallen brother who was doing lights for the Police. I saw him in Japan at the Lexington Queen as referenced in Samurai Sun by Kiss, which you guys reviewed.
Yes.
I went to the Lexington Queen. What the fuck you talking about? As we stand right now, the last recorded song ever of Kiss is not My Ascot. It's Lexington
Samurai,
Queen, Samurai, whatever.
Yeah.
And I saw him there, and he went, dude, like he's with the Police. What are you doing? Whatever. How's the tour? Because I saw 2 shows. One was great. One was not. I explained that to him. He said, the show is dictated by Andy Summers. How do you mean? If Andy Summers walks on stage and does the opening riff to Message in a Bottle and it's killer, the show is killer because Andy's killer. If he comes on stage and fucking sucks at it, like you said, very underwhelming, then the show is bad. Because Sting gave 30% to Stewart, 30% to Andy, and he couldn't take. And Sting's a fucking badass, but it's the Police, and that's why the Police broke up, because Sting couldn't trust the other cats. Because some nights they're good, some nights they're bad.
Well, Stuart Copeland, from what I've seen, is pretty much always on.
Well, but
maybe he would be off sometimes, but Andy Summers is I'll say it, he's the weak link of the 3. And to be the weak link of with the other 2 guys, that's almost anybody can be.
He's the weak link when he's weak, but when he's strong, he's fucking like the solo from Synchronicity is brilliant. He could have won. He just did fucking weird noises. Why? Because the song is weird. Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't want to bore. I know Rich is falling asleep over here. Point being, the word on the street was that if Andy's on, it's great. If he's off, it's bad. I thought it was interesting for a 3-piece fucking classic band.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So was it bad when you saw them, Nick?
No, it was. I'll have to say a song that's maybe not considered. Well, I mean, it's a hit, but maybe not considered like one that would really get your blood going. The one that brought down the house was "Every Little Thing She Does."
Yeah.
That for some reason they were all three of them were just on fire during that one.
I saw the second show in Edmonton, which was shit. Second show, and I saw like the 27th show in Tampa, which was brilliant. So listen, sometimes it takes a couple songs to get into it, but the first one was not good because they didn't have any chemistry. They weren't ready yet.
Crazy night, you are the heroes tonight. Rock and roll crazy night, you are the heroes.
Fuck yeah. Can I just point out the fucking whammy bar work right there? It's off the chain, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you want to make a comparison with that specifically, Brad Gillis.
Good
Yes,
call.
yes.
Underrated player.
Warbly kind of wow or whammy bar work.
Here's the thing about Brad Gillis, super underrated, but who's the guy they called? And God bless Randy. We all love Randy. He passed away. They brought in Bernie Tournay for 10 days. He's fucked. They called Brad Gillis. Like, what a random guy. And he fucking did the gig.
The Speak of the Devil album, which
And-
I believe came out on yesterday of this recording.
Let's make it a good one. You remember the film where we used to get fucked up with the film? Oh, man.
Wicked guitar playing. On
Listen,
that.
they brought him in to cover for the great. And listen, sorry, I keep saying listen. Listen. We talked about Rudy Sawers earlier. Rudy's a great guy. When Randy died, he was lost. Ozzy was lost. They were lost. They brought in this poor guy, Brad Gillis, to take his place. And for whatever reason, they scouted him and brought him in, and he kicked ass.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And then for some reason he wasn't there anymore.
I'll tell you why. At the time, Ozzy in '82 was not as hot as Night Ranger was. Night Ranger had Sister
It didn't have
Christian.
the potential, especially in the wake of Randy's passing.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what the future was going to be for Ozzy.
It's the same reason when Hetfield didn't want to sing. They asked John Bush from Armored Saint in '84. Armored Saint was the hottest band on the Strip. And when Cliff died, they asked Joey Vera, bass player of Armored Saint. Armored Saint, everybody always said Armored Saint was the band, and in Northern, Night Ranger was the band. So to leave their big bands to join this washed-up Ozzy Osbourne, what the fuck am I going to do? We got Sister Christian and fucking You Can Still Rock in America and Don't Tell Me You Love Me. Kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You know? But Brad Gillis is a great player, and Chris, you're right. His whammy skills are fucking...
I'm thinking like there's a moment in The Wizard off of the Speak of the Devil album where it's pretty I guess wicked would be the correct term.
That is the one term that I would describe the entire Speak of the Devil album from a guitar playing standpoint.
I have a little inside information if you guys want to hear it. We don't have to
Love to hear it.
So Rudy is a very good friend of mine. And fucking what a brother. 69 years old. Never
Tell him to do something about his hair.
Call
I
back.
mean, really.
Call back.
What a disgrace.
He showed up.
It's a joke, by the
and
way.
these guys are fucked because they're like just lost their bro. And the only Sharon put them back on the road like 10 days later because she was worried about Ozzy. She thought he was going to kill himself and get fucked up and die because he was so distraught. So let's put him on the road. After the show, we go right to the next town. You can't smoke. You can't snort. There's no chicks, whatever. So, but Rudy was the same, and so was Tommy Aldridge. So they apparently had what's one of those things we have to finish up your record deal? Like you have 4 albums.
Obligation.
Yeah, you owe us 4 albums. The live album, Sabbath album. And they showed up, and Rudy was like I don't know these songs. She's like, well, you've got a day and a half to learn them because we're in the Fillmore tomorrow. fucking, and Tommy Aldridge the same. Like, what's the wizard? What's the wizard like? So they rehearsed as much as they could, and she told them, "We've already got Paranoid, we've already got Iron Man, and we've already got
Children of the Grave."
Let's say that.
Yeah.
There's 3. You don't have to worry about it when you play them. Just fucking mime it, like, or just do whatever. Show us some. So they learned the songs they didn't know, which was the Sweet Leaf. If you look at Speak of the Devil, there's some obscure shit. It's not.
Oh yeah, Never Say
Never
Die.
Say Die.
Symptom of the Universe. The opening track.
Oh, they killed that one,
Dude. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
right. So he went. We don't have to worry about Paranoid, Iron Man, and War Pigs or whatever, or Symptom, whatever it was. And she said, just fuck, do whatever. She put those songs on the finished recording. So those ones were not, like, they thought, okay, we've got through the hard shit. Now we can fuck around and be Rudy Sarzo and lick basses and stuff. So he's like the Paranoid on that album is me licking my bass and like sucking my own cock. Like, I never would have allowed that. And listen, when you listen to it as a fan,
it sounds good though.
it sounds great.
Yeah.
We don't notice, but as the musician,
He knows.
he was duped, and Tommy was duped, and Brad. Brad.
They
was
thought
duped
they
too.
had it in the can from another show. Is that what you mean?
like the
Or-
tribute, like the stuff on the tribute
Yes,
album.
you've played it enough. You've got enough shit to worry about. When you get to Paranoid, we know you got it. Don't worry about it. So for like, if you're a live performer, you guys have played live. All of us have. When it comes to Sweet Leaf and you don't know it, you have to stand there and watch and listen. When it comes to Paranoid, fuck. If I fuck it up, we've got it. We've got it in the can. And she used it anyways. You know, she duped them. So there you go.
Interesting. No,
Sorry,
never.
you good?
No, that's okay. It just
Chris, do you dig this, or are you not into it, or what?
What?
The story I just told about Rudy Sarzo.
Meaning that they just put a substandard product on the album?
No,
Or-
what I'm saying is the songs they thought they had the can, they were told, don't worry about Paranoid. Learn your shit. Stand there on stage and play it. But for Paranoid, Iron Man, and War Pigs, don't worry about it because we got it already. Show me some fucking shit. And when the song...
maybe that's why there's harmonics constantly. Brad Gillis is doing that instead of just strict palm
Great
muting
point.
on Children of the Grave. There's the harmonics going on constantly. Maybe he was just goofing around. It sounds cool, though.
So you're saying you just said, do your thing and cut loose on those?
on those, because we've got those ones. You guys have been playing them every night, but we owe the record company an album, so we're going to play the Sabbath songs. So here's the songs you have to learn. Never Say Die. I don't know this song. You have to learn it in 7 days or whatever.
And didn't they do that to beat Dio Sabbath to Live Evil?
Hey, what's Live Evil backwards?
I'll have to write it down.
Live Evil,
I don't know.
motherfucker. That's exactly right. Anyways, just part of rock and roll lore. Is it true or not true? I don't know. All I know is Rudy My zebra's ass. My zebra's ass.
The Rising Sun.
Come on, man. You had to put that at the end? You
Why
could have put the
not?
Statue of Liberty at the end. Who's
That's
gonna
true.
fucking know?
That's true.
There was a rising sun in the
cover
middle
art.
too for a second.
What's that?
There was a rising sun in the middle at
There
one
was,
point.
there was,
yeah.
there was. So it's 1984. This is the first thing you've seen from Loudness. Wow. Great fucking tune.
Yeah. Can I vote first? Because I'm.
Are we there yet or what?
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Can we still discuss? Here, let me
I'm
just,
pretty stoked about it.
Hold on, but let me discuss a little about MZA. What I always heard was that, and this is getting really deep and bullshitty or whatever, Japanese believe in reincarnation, right?
Mhm.
So if you look at the alphabet, the if there's 26 letters, the 1, 13, 26 is A, M, Z. And their idea was MZA. MZA is like
Oh,
a circle.
okay.
that's what I always heard. It was the circle of life. So that's
They probably would have let that story get out because that's pretty clever.
not bad, right?
Yeah.
No, but I don't know what it has to do with the song, but maybe it doesn't need to. Yeah.
Hey, what does fucking "Where Do We Go Now" mean for Sweet Child
Sure.
Mine or
Right.
whatever?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's certain things in songs that are more about the way they sound
Yep.
rather than lyrical content.
Mm-hmm.
Chriselle, bear me.
Say what?
What do you got?
In terms of
Anything? MZA? Have you been paying any fucking
I
attention?
prefer my zebra's ass. That's the that's the interpretation I'm going with.
Yeah, we had a horse in here last week and a zebra this
Call
week.
back.
Circle of life, whatever. My zebra's ass. Fully on board with that interpretation.
All right. Where are we going with this now?
We vote.
I think it's time to vote.
Nick would like to go first.
I would like to because I have a very emphatic Sweet Surrender for this one.
Wow.
It's Sweet Surrender.
Sorry.
I never sounded so good.
Is that you?
Yeah.
I love the fact that you attempted a Malmsteen / Jolin turn with it. It's great.
Might as well shoot for the moon.
Hey,
right?
let me ask you a question before you answer, Nick. What was my suggestion for the kick in the crotch, Andy? America's Little Brother. I had a good one. Oh, I know what it was. Quiet Riot, It Sucks to Be You.
That's what it was.
It sucks to be you.
Oh, that's
not bad.
That's yeah.
That's from a Jizzy Pearl.
Yeah, that's a more recent one. Yeah.
If a Jizzy Pearl album falls in the woods, does anybody hear it? Anyways, go ahead.
That's right.
I'll say it again. This was pretty much, I think, my first time really listening to this song.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
wow.
I never
New
really.
discovery.
Yeah, never. I'd heard of it, but never really pursued it, and I really liked it. Like I plan on checking out this album.
Yeah,
And
start with this one
really-
and then work back, or like he said, do the lightning strikes.
Yeah,
and then
so Thunder in the East is like so amazing. Dawkins, Lightning Strikes is a little bit more polished, but it's fucking rad as well. So if I have a recommendation, Thunder in the East and Lightning Strikes are the two albums you should listen
Okay,
to.
I will.
and then
I
work
plan
your
on
way
it.
back. They're, like he said, they're a little more proggy in their earlier stuff, but still heavy.
They were a band like Raven or Saxon or Lizzie Borden that got caught up in the gloss of late 80s production and were kind of led down the road of like, okay, well, you did a great job with your fan base here. Now they want like super pop metal. And it didn't work, but for Loudness it kind of did. It didn't work for Lizzie Borden. It fucking certainly didn't work for Saxon. And it didn't work for Raven.
Is that sort of like a parallel to last week's episode?
In what way?
Like Billy Squire had an established
yeah.
fan base, and
Yeah.
it's like, let's try to polish it and pop it up.
But the difference was, like we mentioned, audio-wise, he still went number one,
Mhm.
which is nothing to ever sneeze about.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Right.
So who wants to vote next?
I'll go. Sweet Surrender for me.
Oh.
It's Sweet Surrender.
Hell yeah!
You know, again, I don't think I've ever, I've never explicitly bashed Loudness. I've bashed Kiss more because of the Crazy Nights connection. I will stand by my statement that it was a little disappointing for Kiss to be seemingly following the lead of Loudness. It seemed backward to me, which is why I perceive Kiss's Crazy Nights the way I do. But this song's got a great groove to it. The guitar playing, excellent. All guitar nerds regard Takasaki very highly. Great solo, outstanding tone for the genre. All good stuff.
Andy,
I'll go next.
Andy, what do you think?
I'm going to give it a Sweet Surrender as well.
It's Sweet Surrender.
Hell yes!
I kind of wanted to give it a kick in the crotch just to hear you sing that one too, but the song does not
play
warrant
that just for the hell of it if we want.
Just karaoke to all of Nick's bits.
Let me ask you this before you give your. Have you guys ever done Synchronicity 2?
No.
Ooh, the irony.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Well, you know.
There's
Mason,
time.
There is I won't say what it is, but there is a Police song on our listener submission list that I've been eyeballing for quite a while. Hoping
Hell
we get to.
yes!
Might have to game the system.
Nick's been trying to rig it. I won't allow it.
Nope.
Play by the rules here.
Yep.
Anyway.
If we don't have rules on Pot of Thunder, what do we have?
Exactly. That's what everyone says.
Bunch of fucking
anarchy.
sexy fucks doing nothing.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
So
not gonna do
so
anybody
much
good.
sexy. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
4 sexy guys, 5 sexy guys, and a bowl of yams. What are you going to do?
5 sexy guys and a bowl of yams. What are you gonna do?
There's one.
Oh, yeah.
There's one more butter tart left from last week. if
Ooh,
somebody
don't think I'm
wants
not
it.
eyeing that motherfucker.
Hang out with this
Oh,
dainty
yeah.
baby.
Don't think we're not going to watch some Kiss videos at random before you guys leave.
Right.
He doesn't have to leave yet. Rich is driving. He don't give a fuck. He's got nothing to do.
He's got that look about him where he just doesn't care right now.
I love the fact that all your wives let you hang out with me on your Thanksgiving Eve. God
You said
bless.
they let us.
Wow. Oh,
my
yeah.
wife
no
doesn't.
idea.
My wife doesn't know I'm gone yet.
Yeah, right.
My
Exactly.
wife thinks I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Nick put a
I
bunch of
sleep in the basement every night.
Nick filled up some pajamas with newspapers and put them in the bed.
Ferris Bueller.
With
The fucking yawn. The yawn fucking synthesizer.
Yeah.
Yawn.
I put on a CD. I put on a CD of various bodily sounds. Like, oh, he's here. Okay.
We got some good looking girls. Oh, yeah.
That's what Nick says in his sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul
Ooh.
Stanley quotes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What's your rationale there?
Let me
Andy?
hear the animals.
Instead of snoring, that's what. Yeah. My rationale was a lot to do with the sound of this song. Sounds great. Tons of crunch. Powerful
Crunch
song.
is a good description.
It's a good
like an
strutting
Ortega
song.
taco shell.
Like you're going to kick someone's
Like
ass.
no cord.
Like this butter tart over
Raise
there.
your fist in the air.
Hashtag
Banging
no
on the steering
cord.
wheel. All that stuff.
You guys, Andy's
Sorry.
saying his thing.
I
It's
know.
fine.
Sorry.
We have 2 different shows going on here.
I
It's
know.
fine. I'm
One
on
in
your.
each
I'm on
speaker.
your show.
I'm listening,
because
Andy.
you're calling the shiz.
Yeah, I kind of heard it.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Ooh, Frasier Crane coming back next
Can't
year.
wait.
Does
Cannot
this
wait.
Frasier reboot.
What?
Frasier reboot next year.
Really?
Oh,
On
for
it's on
Christ's
Netflix.
sake, how
Probably.
weak
Everything.
that?
Is Niles involved?
Yeah, everyone who's alive.
Oh. Who's
this is
dead?
John Mahoney, the dad.
He died?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
And the
Eddie.
dog.
And Eddie.
What the fuck? Well, who gives a fuck? They can put 16 dollars. We'll never the
Gotta
difference.
edit that out.
Is it my turn to vote on this?
Wait,
Yes.
Andy, would this inspire you to explore more from the band?
Yeah, definitely.
He said that like.
Will Andy be?
20
Did
minutes
you
ago.
say that?
Will Andy be sitting
You
on the
did?
floor, Indian style headbanging to this?
I've seen
And
Nick,
then
Nick caught me doing that once when we lived at our parents' house.
For a band?
Probably Megadeth.
Oh,
Maybe, yeah.
Why would you sit Indian stuff for Megadeth?
Because I was sitting on the floor listening to music.
Kind of
Was
like
it Black Friday?
Kind of like in the
Maybe.
in the Peace Cells video.
Yeah.
This is the news. He's sitting there in front of the TV.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
How about the fact that riff was used for fucking 20 years on MTV
Yeah.
News?
I-
Boom, 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 boom. I can play that on bass, by the way. So.
Me too. I remember
That's a hard thing to play too.
It is.
That
You know
little
why?
that
'Cause
last little bit
Because
is
you have to hit the top string. It's the Dave Elvis. Boom, 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 boom. You have to go boom, boom, boom. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm playing along with you. Air playing with you.
thank you.
Yeah, even when that was on, like, what was it, like 2004, 5, when they finally
Yep.
took that off. But I remember thinking, like, I can't believe they're still playing this on MTV and MTV
It
News.
lasted like 18 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just the same as
And in a Pavlovian way, it induced many an erection because you knew Tabitha Soren was coming up soon.
Ooh, nice.
She had that kind of alternative chick appeal.
Induced my direction because I knew that Gar Samuelson was coming up at Obscure Call.
Oh, he
Okay,
was
Anyone?
that
he was
works
a,
for you.
He was a looker, tell you that much.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Is it my
Actually, Jericho also
will be.
fantasized about getting his dick sucked by Kurt Loder. So
turn? It's MTV News. I'm Kurt Lord. By the way,
the
here's-
rest of us normal people
Can I
were
tell you? Can I tell
cranking it to Tabitha Soren.
Hold on, Chriselle. Can I tell you something that I just read on Instagram today? It said, "How do you know that you're old?" Kurt Loder's 65 years old today.
Damn.
He was fucking old when he was on
Hey,
the
man,
news.
I'm fucking younger than you, man.
Well, yeah, but when like 25 years ago when he was the anchor.
Well, I'm
or
just
whatever
saying,
it
do you feel old or whatever?
Oh, I always feel old. Are you
It's
kidding
a
me?
surrender. Okay, so
Is it
sorry.
fucking 3:30 in the morning?
Can I
yeah,
get my-
I feel pretty damn old right now.
I'm ready to fucking rock it.
Yeah, go.
Can I
vote.
get my thing?
Do it.
It's Sweet Surrender right now.
It's sweet surrender.
Hell yeah. Love that riff from the moment I first heard it.
Oh yeah, how could
Very
you
it's
good
not?
awesome.
If you're into this style of music, how can you not?
It's
love that
awesome.
riff?
Yeah.
Crazy Nights, into Hell Yeah, into Heavy Chains, into Getaway. So many great songs. And if you have not heard the brilliance of Loudness, listen to Thunder in the East and then Lightning Strikes. Both two separate records, but both brilliant records. And man, I really love Loudness. And they recently did the 35th anniversary tour of the Thunder in the East album and played it in its entirety. I'm going to pay, look under your chair, Andy, Nick, and Chris. Rich, sorry you're not included. We're all getting free tickets to the Loudness 35th anniversary Thunder in the East tour at the closest venue they're
Is
playing.
that really happening?
Yeah, I'm flying all of us there. Just find us a place where they're playing.
Let's do Tokyo. Why not? Never been there.
Dude, it's all right. I can get you a $60 flight. You have to stand up the whole way, but don't fucking worry about it.
Yeah, that's fine. Just get me there. Let's see.
That's how horses travel on planes too. So it's like,
Call back Billy Squire's horse. Oh yeah.
Although if they come to Chicago and play at Reggie's, that would be awesome.
They're doing the double door. By the way, I love.
Place is closed, but anyway.
Is it really?
Yeah, they closed it down.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the gentrification. It's now a fucking what is
Like
it?
an
It's
Urban Outfitters or
like
something.
like a Patagonia type place. It's like it's a clothier.
I just want to say once again, at 49 years old, hearing this literally 35 years ago. Wow, when I was 14, I'm still obsessed with MZA. Run down MZA.
Yeah, I didn't know that's what they even said.
I don't think they really know for sure, but I want to talk to Akira Takasaki or Minoru Nihara.
Now you mentioned earlier you were on a bill with them and you said they didn't give you the time of day. Were they dicks or were they just not available?
I think Japanese are very shy. I think they were shy being in the States, in New York, whatever the gigs they were doing. And listen, I didn't do my due diligence, shall I say? I should have organized it, but I was nervous. Listen, I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
So you go like, oh, laughing, ha ha ha. To meet Loudness, it would fucking freak me out, dude. Like, oh, who the fuck are Loudness and fuck you and fuck your mom. What? This to me meant something.
Yeah.
So I was nervous. I was a little nervous about meeting them, and I didn't really attack it like I should. So they were kind of shy or whatever, but
Did you come at them too aggressively or something?
no,
No.
I basically stood there like a little fucking
Oh,
idiot,
okay.
too scared to say anything.
I gotcha. Okay.
It was the same with Raven when I met them at the New Jersey Metal Fest at some shithole fucking Cricket, New Jersey, whatever it was. Why are you nervous to talk to Raven? No one cares about Raven. No, I do because I'm a big fan and I don't know what to do. So whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Steve Harris. I love Steve Harris. I still don't know what to say to him, even though he's been on Talk Is Jericho. When I see him in person, I'm like, "Hi, Steve."
Right.
Well, I
and
love
you opened a show in L.A. for them recently, didn't you?
We did.
I mean,
yeah.
that must have been incredible.
Amazing. It was amazing, and fucking we got a great reaction, and we worked hard for the Maiden crowd in L.A. That's a double whammy. Afterwards, I'm walking backstage, and here's Steve Harris walking with his bodyguard, and it's like, "Oh, Chris, how are you?" I'm like, "Hi, Steve Harris." Why are you saying Steve Harris?
Yeah.
We've known each other for years. Like, whatever. Like, how was the show? It was great. LA, it's your crowd. You know, what I said was it was great, but it was your crowd. So they were nice to us. They went, no, it's not our crowd. It's LA. It's like basically saying like it's not. They weren't being nice to you. It's the Los Angeles crowd are snobby.
Hmm.
If this was a Chicago crowd, they wouldn't. Like he's super friendly and a gentleman.
Right.
Great night. So.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 4.
Oh
Sweet
wow! What do we
Twenders.
do now?
Well, just for grins, play the kick in the crotch, just so we can hear the ending of that one, just before we go into it,
Okay.
just for fun.
It's a humiliating kick in the crotch.
Okay, now
So this is something from the Mandalorian. Can we stay current here or what?
Man,
Baby Yoda. Wah wah.
Baby Yoda is adorable, but I haven't seen much. I put on the first episode, and I was like,
We gotta
I'm not
keep
into
watching
it.
because Baby Yoda's got some secrets, dude.
yeah. Is it
Baby
good?
Yoda's a badass.
All right, I'll watch it.
Ask me a question.
Any question? What was your favorite? No. Or interrupt.
Oh, that's sorry.
All right, go. Move ahead.
Move on, as
Yeah.
Paul Stanley would say.
Exactly.
When I was just a baby, when I was just a baby, Mama sat me on her knee.
Yeah.
That's what Baby Yoda said in the first episode.
When I saw Baby Yoda, he went, "Oh yeah, ooh."
I saw Baby Yoda getting ice.
When I saw Baby Yoda, let me tell you something, Detroit. That staff was the longest staff I ever seen in my life. Oh yeah, ooh, oh.
That's staff.
Oh yeah.
Baby
Baby
Yoda.
Yoda staff. You
Yeah.
don't want to sit down your rear
Penal
end.
spines
Oh,
on that for sure.
yeah. Penal spines.
You know what Baby Yoda said when he walked out of his little cave and saw the swamp and all
What?
that stuff? He
What'd he
said, I heard we got a lot of water here.
You're stealing my story.
I am stealing your story.
I know you got a lot of water coming. Don't think we don't know that. We got some special T-shirts. All the proceeds go to you in a bag. Oh yeah. Ooh.
I love that. Don't think we don't know. Line. That's the best part.
Like,
of it.
don't-
Before you accuse
That's-
us of not
yeah.
knowing that,
Don't
let me
think.
stop you right there.
Don't you ever fucking insinuate we're gonna come into Winnipeg and not know you got a whole lot of water coming.
We may or may not have found out about this 30 seconds ago, but we're still going to sell you some T-shirts and help out in any way we can. All right, let's zip through this. Let's do it a
we're gonna
lightning
zip through this.
round
We were
style.
talking to some first responders backstage before.
You know what's funny when you start coughing?
Yeah.
Shut up, Rich. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah.
Don't think Rich doesn't know what you're talking about.
Don't think we don't know that, Rich. Oh yeah. Oh. Sorry. Oh yeah.
All right,
Is this one gonna make it?
now we put all 4 words in.
Yeah.
Rock and roll bone.
How did you hold on? Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
How did you put this on a loop, or how do you get the cowbell over and over again?
Yeah.
No,
It's-
we called Peter Chris, had him record
part
this
was still- hold on.
especially for
We
us.
wrote it out on sheet music, and he put it on
Yeah.
his little stand.
In '75, little known fact is that Peter Criss did a 97-minute drum solo in Hammond,
Yeah.
Indiana,
Yeah.
and you've got it on tape.
And he had Paul Stanley come over and yell that live in person.
Hold on, that's Vinnie Vincent. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Stop playing this fucking solo.
So the last time we had to get all 4 words, we had another Chris J here, if you'll recall.
What?
We sure did.
Who's that?
We had
Chris Jerk,
Chris Jones.
Chris Dumb Idiot.
Oh, that's
is
right.
that your
Another
brother?
parent.
my mother. Andy
Oh,
and our mother
hey.
was
Hey, calm down, man.
Hey,
I'm
man.
just joking, man.
Yeah, what are you doing over there?
hey,
Yeah,
don't be
joking,
afraid of me, be
man.
afraid of her.
Hey, man.
No,
yeah,
she
coincidentally,
Chris-
coincidentally, she also played in the NHL in the late '60s, early '70s.
With Manon Reum.
she had a glorious fro.
Yeah, she had
Tampa
those.
Bay Lightning goalie.
She had those yellow skates. Original member of the Oakland Seals.
Well, what song did you listen to with her?
We did
Billion
Dollar Babies.
That was
Okay, I
her
haven't listened to that one
pick,
yet.
by the way.
And that was the other time that we needed 4 unanimous votes.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
A lot of pressure. A lot of pizza too. I'm looking at.
I'm
Taking it
gonna
home?
eat it.
This pizza's been here all week.
Am I first, Chris?
You're first, and I know you're gonna like it. So you would say rock, and then the rest of us will fill in the rest of it if we choose to.
Where does it go from?
I'm
We'll
giving
go
it-
around this
Okay.
way.
I'm giving it Sweet Surrender.
Now this is round 2.
Oh,
so
shit.
We
This
already
is
did
the
that.
boner round. So,
Oh,
but
This
start,
is so we all gave it a positive mark, but does it get the rock and
I
roll
love
boner status?
my little brother Andy for playing along. I'm fucking round. It's fucking rock.
and
Roll.
Soft boner.
Oh,
Soft
no.
Oh, look out. What the hell just happened?
You got to fucking... It's okay. We're sponsored by Blue Mics. Why would you say that?
But it is a boner, though, right?
No.
He said soft boner.
All soft wiener, I guess.
No, he said fucking...
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either. I thought this would be
Okay, what's the last...
I thought it would be this would be as erect as the rising sun
what's
in the sky.
Thanks, Nick. What's the last one that made it through the fucking cracks?
For the boner status.
It better not be fear leaving
thicker
bullshit.
than a chopstick.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Come throw my
What did you
microphone.
say?
No,
What happened?
no,
Nick's
I'm
throwing things now.
I'm getting some piss off here.
Yeah, he's
Thicker
talking
than-
bad about fear.
What's
Thicker than a
wrong
chopstick.
what's wrong with the Sweet Surrender and not on the all-time
No.
greatest list?
What? No, what's the last one that made it to the all-time greatest list for you? For your little gang of ruffians
It's
here.
been a while, hasn't it?
Has it?
Murders in the Rue Morgue, maybe?
Okay,
Yeah,
I
it had
can't
to
deny
be
that.
that, yeah.
that
Before
one.
that, I'm waiting.
$1 billion babies, probably.
$1 billion babies.
Yeah,
Wow,
Tripping
okay.
on a hole in a paper heart.
Yo,
somehow.
tripping on a hole can go fuck its ass.
Okay.
Oh,
Why would
my
you
goodness.
deny loudness?
My goodness.
I'm just saying, in my opinion,
Am I
it's a
hallucinating?
thumb up, but it's not an all-time. It's not in the stratosphere of all-time greatest.
Okay. Well, it's your show, so whatever.
Who says it best than Mr. Ank?
Here.
No,
Here,
whatever.
Chris. Here.
Yeah.
You obviously don't know anything about rock and roll.
I think
we're all
Chris
angry.
needs a consolation butter tart.
Oh, thanks, man. I love the butter touch. Thanks.
There you
Listen.
go. You can
You know what?
polish
This
that.
this is the reason why N is my favorite Jones brother.
Damn.
There's an N in Andy, so go fuck your ass.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
get y'all make it.
I don't know why you're giving him more things to throw at me.
No,
You
butter-
give me food.
a butter
throw
tart would-
microphone at me.
that- butter tart
I
would be
never
explosive.
throw a butter tart at anybody.
Yeah, that would be disrespectful.
Okay, listen. I appreciate your opinion. And you're fucking wrong, so I quit.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's rubber stamp it. Just drive it home.
I'm sorry, Chris J.
Oh, hold on.
That's just the fucking way it is.
Great. Here's the thing. If we were on America's Got Talent,
Yeah.
and I got Simon Cowell, a.k.a. Chris L.,
Mm-hmm.
and Howie Mandel,
Wish
a.k.a.
I had
Nick,
his money.
and I'm
I wish
El
I had his hair.
McPherson, and you're
That too.
fucking like George Schwartz.
And
Like,
his
no one
fake
gives a fuck what
teeth.
George Schwartz cares about. They all care about El McPherson, Simon Cowell,
Okay.
and fucking Howie Mandel. You're the
El
you're the Mel B. You know what, Mel B? Go fuck your ass. No one gives two shits.
That's Chris's favorite Spice Girl.
She is my favorite Spice
Chris
Girl.
Chris J.
Mel B is?
Chris J.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl?
Are you asking me? Really?
Yeah. We talked about this years ago.
Can I be frank about it? You guys are not gonna bag on me.
No judgment here.
Oh my God, Baby Spice. Oh yeah.
Okay, I can.
Those
I can.
pigtails.
I
That
can.
big fat out of shape ass. Oh yeah. We got some good looking girls. Oh yeah.
I have a term for an ass like that. I call it a soupy ass. It's always been my term for it. It's got the consistency of like split pea soup. Yeah, that's my term for it. But I can see that. But
I always loved Baby Spice. Oh my gosh.
does anybody love Sporty? I mean,
that was my
That was Nick's
that
pick.
was my
right.
pick
That's
back
right.
in the day.
Should have known.
That was my pick back in the day.
That's
yeah.
an interesting pick. I was a posh guy, but she just got overexposed.
She
and
lost
too
you
thin.
over the years.
Yeah. Scary moved to the top.
Sport
slot.
Scary is Mel B.
Yeah.
Who's the other? There's a fifth-
Ginger.
Ginger. Okay.
She was,
She was in Playboy.
So was the one you just said. Which one did you say?
Sporty.
She's flat chested, but fuck, whatever, man. Come on.
Nick, you know.
You probably could play catch with her or something.
Yeah, Nick's got that. Catch the Schwans.
Wesley.
Red bear, they're doing pot of thunder. They're in the shadow of my balls. No one cares.
Wesley.
So loud that it shook the lighting rig above the stage. Is what the O. So,
All right.
back to that. What do you think, Mr. Belvedere? Did he really sit on his balls? Do you think it's a made-up story?
Yeah, if it's Adam Sandler involved, it's bullshit.
All right.
That's
If
too
it was
bad.
David Spade, I'd believe it, but Adam Sandler's a fucking bullshit son of a bitch. So I've heard.
Now, is he you share a publicist with the actual Adam Sandler or this
Not
other
the-
guy?
No, not The Price is Right. The real Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Great. She's amazing. Super fucking California. She's like Adam Sandler, blah, 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 whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. So
how much publicity does that guy need at this stage? I mean, he just...
Dude, do you know
He's got so much fucking money with his production company.
Yeah, but you got to promote it.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
That's my point, Chris.
Right.
Do you know how much money he got from Netflix to do 7 edit this out shit movies?
Yeah, like $100 million. Right?
250.
That's insane. That is insane.
That's the amount of penetration that Netflix has.
Yeah.
Back end.
What's that? Oh yeah, penetration on the back end.
Yep.
Can I ask you guys a favor? We're
Of
gonna
course.
end this.
Yes. Please, let's end.
Before we go, do you have an extra 3 minutes and 30 seconds for your boy?
Is that how much it's going to take? Or
We're not gonna stop it. I just want to watch it through.
what is it?
Is it To Become One? Is it the Spice Girls?
Kiss Heaven's on Fire.
Can
Put
we-
the mics down. Turn it off. I just want to watch it with my
Yeah,
family.
let's
Yes.
wrap the episode.
Oh, we're not
and
even
then
done
we'll
yet.
watch it.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
No, we're never done.
We're never done. It never
And we're
ends.
not watching 2 Become 1 because I will have to empty something in the toilet
In the Blackie
And,
Lawless filled his toilet. I'll just jump out the fucking
to
window.
maximum capacity.
I was on Tinder today, and I put a fucking like.
Start going in the tank afterwards.
You need I want to be somebody lyrics. It didn't work out.
Didn't work, huh?
No, well,
No bites.
Target
I
marketing.
did get a
Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss.
Target marketing is great, and I ended up dating a girl from Target. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Oh no. Yeah.
Leave those tan pants on. Would be the directive.
Leave your name tag on. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh baby, baby.
Finish it, Andy.
All right.
Sweep the leg.
Well,
End him. Whatever you got to do.
Look at you.
Not literally, but
thank you so much for joining us for
whoever's
2
got the room
episodes.
next to us is
It's-
about right.
and
here.
it's-
Get
and-
his throat
I
out of
saw
it.
those black lace panties, and I knew that it was you. Sorry. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes.
And
Always a pleasure.
thank you for 2 weeks of 2 December.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed your stay at Andy's house the last week, just so you could
This
stay
is
here.
great,
for
man.
fun.
Grandma and grandpa make me do all the laundry and make me mow the lawn and feed the dogs. I love them. Long Jericho dong. Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that's all.
Hold on. 'Cause the best part of fucking 16 Candles is when all the shit goes down and then they find out that grandma and grandpa are basically extorting Long Duck Dong to do the chores, and they get mad at him when he says, I love and grandma and grandpa make me do that. And she's like, Dong, shut up. And he's like, I will deport you. He's like, I'm sorry, grandpa. It's like super fucking bad, man. Poor Long Duck, he sees a slave and he tries to escape, and grandpa goes, Dong. I'm sorry, grandpa.
Well, that's a movie that's come under some scrutiny in recent
God.
years.
Everything's under scrutiny.
Well, yeah, you're right. But
Hey,
I'm
Chris,
just,
Al, do you want to go rent Revenge of the Nerds right now? No, because you can't, because it doesn't exist. At Mandela Effect. Oh, yeah.
We were talking about that today.
Fuck, but just
the way
kill
here.
me now. Just kill me.
what?
Ace
it's not-
Ventura. We were saying movies that you couldn't make anymore.
Never. Everything.
All right. That's all the time we have today on Pod of Thunder.
We don't want to end a man's
Why
career
is it all the
tonight.
time you have?
We only have a certain
Dude,
amount of time.
I've tried to end my career countless times. You
Doesn't
can't kill
work.
me now.
Okay, some other people who will end us are our wives when we are completely sleep deprived at Thanksgiving, which would be the day after this was recorded.
Hey, listen, man. I'm on a group text tomorrow. I can't wait to tell you
that's
I'm
another-
so
yeah.
fucking loaded.
Not only have I not
I
had
mean,
any
I just
sleep, but I
passed
have to
out-
do a group text with Jericho right now.
I just passed out in the ambrosia. I got a pineapple
Nice
at my
knowing
nose
ya.
ski. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right. Thank you. Go to potofthunder.com for all your Pot of Thunder needs, if you have any. I don't know if anybody has any. Do they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have needs, right?
Don't think we don't know you have
Don't
needs.
think you don't know.
Don't think we don't know yet.
You could buy a Pot of Thunder handsome Christmas sweater on potofthunder.com.
You sure can.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, get one of those.
Can I get a discount?
I'll hook you up.
Can I get the rich discount?
I'll hook him up too.
He's fucking. He passed out 7 minutes ago.
No, he's like
He sleeps with his eyes
He's
open.
like, yeah.
Honestly, guys, thanks for having me on, and it's a great time. And let's fucking shut this.
Let's
shit
do
up.
it. Bye.
All right, we're yamming. I wanna yam it with you.
That was you.
We're yamming.
Or yamming.
Another successful episode.